Netflix is losing popularity. Netflix has lost subscribers for the first time in a decade. Is this the beginning of the end for the world's most popular streaming service? This is how Netflix has affected today's society. However, for now, Netflix is still on the top. This much we know, but have we fallen under the influence of Netflix? And what about the future generation? Are we being brainwashed without realizing it? Or is Netflix just a streaming service company? Rather, the most important question is, what is its truth and purpose? Too many questions. To help you find out, here are some mind-blowing facts you might have missed. First of all, let's start from the beginning. Netflix. In full, Netflix Inc. media streaming and video rental company founded in 1997 by American entrepreneurs Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. It is also involved in the creation of original programming. Corporate headquarters are in Los Gatos, California. In 1999, Netflix began offering an online subscription service through the internet. Subscribers chose movie and television titles from Netflix's website. The shows were then mailed to customers in the form of DVDs, along with prepaid return envelopes from one of more than 100 distribution centers. In 2007, Netflix began offering subscribers the option to stream some of its movies and television shows directly to their homes through the internet. Netflix subsequently partnered with manufacturers of various consumer electronics products, including video game consoles and Blu-ray disc players, in order to enable its videos to be streamed over an internet connection to those devices. In 2010, Netflix introduced a streaming-only plan that offered unlimited streaming service but no DVDs. In 2016, its streaming service was available in more than 190 countries and territories. In 2012, Netflix started making original shows. Its first show is Lilyhammer, followed by House of Cards in 2013. Since then, it has produced over 1,900 originals, becoming one of the best streaming services for original content, many of which, like Squid Game and The Crown, have gone on to be tremendously popular and won many awards. However, many people think that big companies like Netflix are only trying to make money. Do you think that whoever owns a money press only seeks to own these colored papers? Think carefully. First, you must understand how to differentiate between what is real and what is false. When a company emerges and succeeds in a particular field and becomes an impact on the world, it is supported in order to implement a hidden agenda and politics by giving these successful companies influence, support, and money. Ladies and gentlemen, here is something I am thinking about a lot. Are we being brainwashed? In psychology, the study of brainwashing, often referred to as thought reform, brainwashing is the attempt to change the thoughts and beliefs of another person. For example, the compliance method aims to produce a change in a person's behavior and is not concerned with his attitudes or beliefs. Not only that, Reed Hastings adapted the ideology of no rules Netflix in a culture of reinvention from his book title. This is what Netflix's elite got wrong about Muslims. The frustration mainly comes from the fact that the TV show presents a Muslim girl taking off her hijab for a guy and having sex, while her drug dealer gay brother's dilemma with his faith. The problem with this is that the writers of Elite, none of the writers are Muslim. While making and shaping these characters, they didn't even think about having a Muslim writer to clarify what's right and what's wrong. No more, please. Twitter livid over Muslim representation in Netflix show. One user shared, falsely portraying hijabs wasn't enough for Netflix. They had to go and disrespect prayer, one of the most important obligations in Islam. There's that scene in Tiny Pretty Things on Netflix where a guy is praying and this girl comes straight in front of him. He tells her he's praying and she tells him it's now over, and then proceeds to get down and kiss him, and they dance. I believe that Netflix is trying to give off the idea that all Muslims need to rebel to live a happy life, because otherwise they are nothing but oppressed kids. which is completely untrue. For those who are still in doubt, I get that Netflix should support LGBTQ community, but why does every new TV show have to have at least a gay guy or girl? While Netflix has claimed diversity in its shows, most of their content is LGBTQ. In the United States, in the 2021-22 season, the streaming content provider Netflix included the highest number of LGBTQ characters in its TV series, which amounted to 155. So why does every show seem to require LGBTQ characters now? Simply because Netflix certainly possesses the financial backing to fund LGBTQ+ storytelling, without fear of any kind of boycott or shock, and that it is very easy for it to fill potential gaps in the market and attract the audience with those stories. One of the parents arises a question about his son's concern on Quora. Is there any way I can block gay content on my teenage son's Netflix account? I am not homophobic, but I am afraid that my son might come under influence that being gay is cool and adopt a gay lifestyle. Well, Netflix is ready to defend all of its unnecessary gay characters. One user tweet, "Every damn new series." Twitter user captioned a meme of Netflix shoving an unnecessary gay character into any new series. Netflix saw the tweet and replied, "Sorry, you have yet to realize that every gay person is very necessary." All of this raises a question that's crucial for the future of TV. Is Netflix as dependent on Gen Z as Gen Z is on Netflix? The proportion of US adults who self-identify as LGBTQ or something other than heterosexual has doubled over the last decade. The poll noted that the percentage of Generation Z adults who are queer has almost doubled since 2017, jumping from 10.5% in 2017 to 20.8%. The rise shows that younger Gen Zers who have turned 18 since 2017 are more likely than older Gen Zers to identify as queer. What's the problem with Netflix? Sexual exploitation, all in the name of entertainment. First, sociologists and journalists have observed a trend of ever more graphic, ever more frequent sexual content on Netflix. For example, sociologist Jennifer Gonzalez states, "Just look at the names of shows. Netflix is blunt with using sex as a way of getting people's attention." The Sunday Times recently published an article titled "Netflix is now Sexflix," which went into detail about just how prominent this problem is. Netflix also has a dedicated Steamy section to help users find sexually explicit content. Second, Netflix also hosts and produces egregious content which glorifies sexual violence. A prime example, 365 Days. In a nutshell, when Laura goes to Sicily, she is kidnapped by Massimo, the muscle-bound leader of an Italian mafia, advocating rape, gender stereotyping, sexual violence, and dominating relationships. When you're used to getting everything by force, it's hard to behave otherwise. He generously explains to her when she refuses his advances. Following the release of 365 Days in 2020, a petition was launched by influencer and survivor Michaela Zazin, urging Netflix to remove this incredibly harmful movie from its platform. The petition garnered almost 100,000 signatures. Yet, not only does Netflix continue to host the film to this day, but also released a Part 2 Netflix original, and they are currently in the process of making Part 3. And third, Netflix has faced widespread criticism numerous times for hosting or producing shows that sexualize minors or normalize child sexual exploitation. For example, a 2020 petition demanding that Netflix cancel the film Cuties garnered almost 400,000 signatures. Yet, once again, Netflix callously ignored the public's well-placed concerns, and both these shows remain on the platform to this day. Another reason why Netflix is losing so many subscribers. For the first time in a decade, Netflix has lost 200,000 US subscribers in the first quarter of 2022. marking its first drop in customers in more than a decade. Netflix loses $6 billion a year in revenue due to password sharing. Netflix said it won't ban password sharing, but has simply started to ask subscribers to pay a small additional fee, about $3 per month, if they share their service with people outside their household. Netflix also points out that were it not for the war in Ukraine, it would actually have gained subscribers. It suspended services in Russia, losing 700,000 accounts in the process. Did price rises really play a part? Netflix has been increasing its monthly fees sharply around the world, with some UK subscribers now paying a third more than they were less than 2 years ago for the same service. However, Netflix is exploring the possibility of a soft price cut in the form of an ad-supported tier. Would consumers watch Netflix with ads? The quaint results. 62% of respondents said they would use a lower price plan that includes ads on Netflix, and others said they specifically signed up for Netflix to avoid ads. Dear watcher, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is reality. Every day we are subject to brainwashing, and it's been a project that lasts for centuries. As we have reached the end of today's video, what were your experiences using Netflix? Were they mostly positive or negative? Will you recommend the service to the people you know? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep up to date with all the latest videos. Thank you for watching.